Prepare for trouble, guys. Let me maximize this and welcome you to week 4, LDL season 8, week 4. This week we're fighting Antony, and I know I'm getting a late start. Let me back this up so you can see your teams. This week I came in with the Jolteon, Pelipper, Mega Scizor, Donphan, Conkeldurr, and the Florges. Antony brought the Tyranitar, the Venusaur, Nidoqueen, Charizard Y, Skarmory, and the Slowking. Now I'm bringing you this battle a little bit late. I've been depressed as fuck all week and I've just been sleeping and procrastinating. But I still technically got this in time because my next battle isn't until tomorrow. I'm gonna fight Arthur tomorrow night, so that'll be cool. But yeah, this is it. This is a week 4 match. It was a pretty fun game. As you can see, his team is gnarly as fuck. I mean, none of these mons are anything you want to fuck with, especially knowing that his Slowking has the potential to be a Z captain. My team is just pretty straightforward. I went with a mix of rain team. I didn't go too heavy with it this week, but I did want to have the Weather Wars there to contend with his sand slash sun shenanigans. I don't remember a lot of the specifics of this match. It happened Monday night, and it was an extended battle, so it already ran a little bit late. Scheduling was kind of shitty for Antony this week. So I'm just going to jump into the battle. Afterwards, I'm going to change it up just a little bit more. If anyone's interested in seeing the actual team that I brought, I'm going to paste their sets down in the description. So you can kind of get a good idea, or get a better idea of what I brought this week. Check out some of my tech and maybe play with the team if you want to. I mean, that'd be cool on Showdown or whatever. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. Like I said, I don't remember a ton of the details, so as we watch it, I'm gonna be remembering little bits and pieces as we go. But that's cool. It was fun. It was a fun match. I won't spoil who won yet. But we see the Tyranitar lead from him. Maybe he is expecting the Pelipper lead, which would, as you can see, his sand is coming up. If my Pelipper was out, it's actually the faster mon, so rain would come out first, and then sand would counteract that and come out on top of it. Since Tyranitar is a slower mon, it would happen second. So we do see the sand lead here, which boosts Tyranitar's special defense. I really don't have anything with Jolteon, and I was afraid that he might have some kind of weird tech for me and pop off an earthquake. So instead of volt switching out, I just hard switched into the Donphan, knowing I could take whatever Tyranitar had. Seeing that, he switches out his Nidoqueen into his Slowking, which can pretty easily tank everything the Donphan can do for the most part. We do see quite a bit of damage come off from the earthquake there. It put him at 50%, but instead of staying in, he might have predicted me to switch out there, so he hard switches into the Skarmory, wanting to see if I would earthquake again. But as you can see, I went ahead and went for the knockoff of kind of a safer play. He does set the Toxic on my Donphan, which I don't really like to see on my bulkier mons, especially seeing how I didn't bring a Hill Bell or Aromatherapy this week. But I kind of seize the opportunity before he whirlwinds me away to set rocks. So I thought that he would set his own rocks on this turn, so I will go ahead and send in a Jolteon, but I see he has another form of entry hazard for me. So Now we have the Jolteon out against the Skarmory, which not a good scenario for this the Skarmory here. I kind of expected him to switch into the Nidoqueen, so I went ahead and substituted, thinking that he would switch out. So here we get a free substitute, which is fucking awesome with my Jolteon set I have this week. He sends the Tyranitar back in to set a sand, boost the special defense again. So this T-Bolt I fire off here isn't going to do anything, but I had to do it just in case he stayed in with the Skarmory for some reason. I take some sand damage here. Since I do have the substitute set this week, I go ahead and seize the opportunity to set a wish, since any of my attacks would just kind of be useless. He goes ahead and breaks my sub, which, you know, I figured that you know, would be the case. I make a hard switch here. What did I go into? Oh, the Conkeldurr to take a Crunch or Rock Slide from the Tyranitar here. So we do see the Crunch, and it's going to take it so well. Don't remember what else happens here. I don't think he's going to stay in here. So instead of going straight for the Drain Punch, I probably go for like a Poison Jab or a knockoff. Okay, oh, I go for the Thunder Punch for the Skarmory switch in case he wants to tank the Drain Punch or whatever, and Brave Bird in return. So at this point, I'm kind of sacking the Donphan. It already served its purpose. I don't really need it for any other reason. I was hoping that he would Sludge Wave for Stab, which the Donphan would resist, but we didn't see it. So knowing that Donphan's going down, I go ahead and fire off my priority Ice Shard. Just getting a little bit of damage on the Nidoqueen, so whatever I hit it with next has more of a chance to KO. Which, as we're about to see, he actually does have some good tech for it this week, but that Ice Shard 100% mattered. I'm running a Choice Scarf Pelipper this week, which would outspeed a Nidoqueen that wasn't Scarfed. So we go ahead and see the crit. We see him pop the berry that reduces the damage from water moves, which is the awesome tech on his part. Luckily, I did think ahead and Ice Shard with Donphan before I lost him. Knowing that the Slowking has Thunderbolt access, I go into my Florges here knowing it can easily take whatever special attack he has for me. It's actually a Future Sight, which is kind of a funny move to work around because it's not going to hit me for, you know, another turn. He doesn't want me to set up, obviously, so he sends in a Skarmory, which threatens Iron Head or Whirlwind to shoot me out of the battle and lose on my setup. We make a good play here going into the Scizor, thinking that the Skarmory would go ahead and Toxic instead of firing off an Iron Head. So it was a win-win for us going in with the Scizor there. We turn 1 Mega, of course, which is mandatory on your Mega Pokemon. Knowing that he's not really going to do anything, I go ahead and take my opportunity here, Roost up, get my HP back, but he sends me out with the Whirlwind, which we were pretty afraid of seeing. This is very unfortunate for us. It goes into the Pelipper on the last turn of rain, meaning that it's not going to reinstate the weather. It just kind of didn't do anything. It canceled out. So that's really unfortunate timing for us there. I would have preferred almost any other mon to come in, because now, to set rain, I'm going to have to send Pelipper back in. which I could send it in and he could just whirlwind it right back out. Kind of a pain. I fucking hate Skarmory. It's so hard to deal with, unless you're running Taunt, which I'm not. He does fire off the Toxic here. I'm running a really funny Florges this week. My only offensive move is the Psychic, and I'm actually holding the Psychic Berry to take the Nidoqueen or the Venusaur's Sludge Wave, Sludge Bomb, and have a Calm Mind set up. At +1, I can KO both of them. So that was kind of the plan, to be able to Calm Mind, get one of them to switch in on me, and fire off a Psychic to KO both of its only threats. I say only threat, Skarmory is a threat, but I just kind of sitting it out, waiting to see what his Skarmory is going to do here. But we do see the Whirlwind, which he obviously, at this point, exposes he doesn't have an Iron Head. So I'm not too worried about it offensively, but the Whirlwind is still just a huge pain in the ass. Banking on the fact that he was going to try to set another layer of spikes or something, I went ahead and Swords Dance, so the next turn I can hit him with a +2 Bullet Punch. But we see that's not the case. He just Whirlwinds again, bringing my Pelipper back out. This time activating the Rain, thank fuck. It's a 5-5 match at this point, so he protects, trying to run out my turns of Rain here. Which, I don't know if it's... Yeah, it has. I've already exposed that I'm not running a Damp Rock this week because my Rain went out in 5 turns. So he stays in, fires off a Toxic onto my Pelipper. Really accurate with the Toxics this week. So I was able to get that Scald off, get good damage. He's not carrying Roost, obviously. So I had to fire off another Scald. The Tyranitar comes in, offsets the weather. Again, I knew it'd be a battle of Weather Wars, but it was something I was ready for. That's why I didn't bring Damp Rock, because it'd kind of be a waste of an item with him just coming in and offsetting it. So I wasn't really going to touch the Tyranitar in the sand, so I hard switch out into my Scizor, knowing it can take anything the Tyranitar has for us. Take a lot of spikes damage. And he actually switches right back out. I wish I would have stayed in. Okay, but it really didn't matter because he sent in the Slowking. So now he has a Slowking in the sand, knowing, once again, that Slowking has access to a Fire-type move. Fire Blast, in this case. I go into the Pelipper to get the Rain back out to weaken the fire damage. Which actually still does a surprising amount, even in Rain. Still not an awesome situation for the Pelipper here, because Slowking has access to Thunderbolt, which is a 4 times effective move. So I U-turn out with a Choice Scarf, and go back into the Scizor to take what I thought would be a Thunderbolt. And after the spikes, man, that's too much damage. But he actually fires off a Scald in the Rain, which is way more damage than I anticipated. So, Scizor goes down to the Slowking here. But now I get myself in a good situation once again. I have the Jolteon out against the Slowking, which is going to be, you know, an easy KO if I could just Thunderbolt it. But here comes this motherfucker, set in the sand once again. But I do fire off the Thunderbolt here, getting just enough damage off to where I'm confident that I can fire off one more for the KO. So I go for the roll. I don't know how much investment this thing has, and it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to KO it. But he seizes that. I guess he thought I was going to switch. And he sets his rocks, which it's okay. It's late in the battle. Late rocks is always kind of a smart move because it keeps me from wanting to waste a turn and trying to get rid of them so early. But we do fire off the Thunderbolt to take it down. So it's 1 down for the Jolteon. He protects with the Skarmory, I guess scouting me, I don't really know. It's obviously going down. Oh, he's going for the Sandstorm damage. Okay. Easy KO. Get rid of that shit. And thankfully we see the sand go away because Jolteon is getting pretty low at that point. So, we get to fire off the Thunderbolt on the Slowking finally. Wasn't enough. That was a bulky ass Slowking. We see him firing off another Scald to polish off the Jolteon there, which is okay. Jolteon did almost all it needed to do. The Charizard's still in the back, but we got it off enough damage on the Slowking so that even when he switches out, it'll still be fine. Knowing I can take whatever, I go ahead and wish. Trying to get everything I can HP wise for the end game here, because the battle's definitely winding down. I don't remember how many we both have at this point. I'll make a note of it here in a sec. But he fires off his and exposes his Z move, his Z Crystal move this week, which was the Z Thunderbolt, Z Thunder, probably Thunderbolt. But with the Florges being the crazy tank that it is, I'm able to take it, use Psychic, because Slowking just had a tiny amount of HP. Actually, I didn't expect Slowking to stay in, so I was gonna fire. That Psychic was gonna be on the Venusaur, but he didn't send it in. But here comes this Charizard Y, setting his sun. I think a Flamethrower might KO Florges at this point, but he doesn't. He goes for the Air Slash, maybe thinking I was going to switch out, but whatever, I get to stay in and fire off a Psychic. Once again, because it's the only offensive move that I have. He stays in and roosts, which I was kind of hoping he would go for the attack there, but he made a smarter play, and instead of just finishing off the Florges, and instead of letting Toxic get me this time, he went ahead, set his Roost, so he has almost a full HP Charizard at this point. My Pelipper's taking rocks damage, which isn't good. But as you saw, Florges was able to set that Wish before it went. For the simple fact, I was thinking that he would switch out, or I wasn't going to get to attack, obviously. So I was like, okay, worst case scenario, whatever he does, I set the Wish. But we see the Florges go down. The Venusaur come in, knowing that rain is still up. So he has to send the Charizard back in, like, for him to get the weather in his advantage, because he didn't stand a chance. After taking that rocks damage, Charizard looks bad right now. But he does get the sun back out, which means he's probably gonna get to Roost, which it's what he needed to do. So I send into Conkeldurr here to sack it, because I have to get Pelipper back in on top of the Charizard to set the rain, because I'm not going to be able to handle this Charizard Y in the sun. So knowing damn well that it's going to go down, I send in the Conkeldurr. Worst case scenario, he roosts and I'm able to get an attack off, but that wasn't the case. But I do get myself in the advantageous spot here and I get Rain back out. It's 1v1. Pelipper and Rain against Charizard Y. And I am running a Scarf Pelipper this week. So, Pelipper gets to outspeed, hit him with the Rain, or hit him with the Scald in the Rain, and it was enough to KO it, leaving me with a 1-0 victory against the, at that time, undefeated Antony. It was a fun match. We both made a lot of good plays. He had a pretty annoying team with the Slowking and the Skarmory. But I was super stoked to get my first, or my my second win on the books there. I don't have a whole lot else to say about it. It was really fun. I'm really happy with how I played. I brought, honestly, a perfect team. I prepped for each one of the mons that he had. So it was just a really good week for me in general. If we could just have some more of those weeks, we'll be looking good. But tomorrow we face someone who I've actually never beat in draft format. So that'll be interesting. We always have, there's always something crazy going on in our matches. So it'll be cool to see what actually goes down tomorrow night. But keep your eye out for it. I'm probably going to have it uploaded around the middle of next week unless I get super lazy with it like I did this week. Thank you guys for checking it out. Like I said, the team's going to be posted below in the description. That's about all I have, guys. Thanks for checking this out. And stay tuned for next week.